But now when they became masters of the whole world, they didn't preach. They stopped preaching. They said, look man, you can see Allah has blessed us. If you want to be one of us, you're welcome. But he wouldn't go out of his way to deliver the message. Then came the turn of the European, the Westerner, with his superior gunpowder. He discovered it from the Chinese. They were using this gunpowder for crackers, for sparklers, for fun. And the Westerner discovered this power of the gunpowder and used the barrel, and he knew how to wield it. And with that, he knocked hells into our people all over the world. The Dutch went and conquered Indonesia, a handful of them. A handful of them, Portuguese, they captured part of this territory, our country. A handful of French did the same. Then the rest was taken over by a handful of Britishers because they had the gunpowder. And they ruled us. In Mozambique, they ruled us for 500 years. In Indonesia, they ruled us for 300 years. And on this subcontinent, 150 years. So during that period also we couldn't talk to them. They were our masters, our rulers. Now, once we got our freedom, I think something like more than 50 independent Muslim states exist in the world today. But now we don't know how to talk because we lost the art of talking. But I said, if you go back to the Quran, Allah Bari Ta'ala gives you directives how to do the job. He says in the Holy Quran, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati. Say, invite all to the ways of thy Lord with wisdom. Wal maw'izatil hasanat, and with beautiful preaching. Wajadilhum billati ahsan, and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. Now where will you find this? Wisdom. I say in the Kitab al-Hikmah. That's one of the titles of the Quran, the book of wisdom, from Al-Hakim, the All-Wise. He is giving you examples after examples, but the Muslim is not reading the book. We rattle it off, we memorize it, we recite it beautifully, we put people into ecstasy. But what we are reading, the whole Muslim world as a whole seems to be, bereft of this knowledge of what Allah is trying to tell you. It's the sound, the music, sawab, that we are reading for. What we have to do is to go back to the book and allow Allah Bari Ta'ala to speak to us. Because He's speaking to you and to me, and to every passerby in the street. Allow Him to speak to you, that He's talking to you, and what does He say? And if you follow that, there's no looking back.
To reopen these channels of communication, which as you have rightly said, have broken down because of that long period of domination by the Western powers. Right. Today, as we all know, this is the world of what they call the technological revolution. Yes. And what is needed is that if we were to open these channels in the field of technological collaboration, this will be perhaps be a route for us to bring about a much more closer coordination, greater communication. How do you think we can reopen this channel in the field of technological communication, where we find as is a common phenomena that today in the 20th century, towards the fag end of the 20th century and at the threshold of the 21st century, we appear to be now under the imperialism, as they call it, of technology. Right. And the transfer of technology is one of the greatest barriers in bringing together not only the religions but also the various societies. How do you think we as Muslims can bring about this transfer of technology, where already we have got some very bright young people who are now learning all this new knowledge and technique, and they're also making contribution to the Western world wherever they are working. How can we have it transferred without this imperialistic attitude that is now prevalent in the world?
You see, with this technology, technology is not a religion. It is everybody's property. As our Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, knowledge is the birthright of the faithful. He takes it wherever he finds it, even from the hypocrite. It's your property. Then again he said, the knowledge is the stray camel of the desert. Grab it wherever you find it. So Islam does not prohibit us from getting this technology, knowledge. But at the same time, with this technology and knowledge, with this material benefits, goes cultural invasion takes place, religious invasion takes place. In the guise of wanting to help you economically, they want to plant in the Western world, plant in their norms. They are trying to subvert our people into thinking as they are thinking, behavior as they behave. So we have to be on guard with regards to that. Then there is this, the whole world of Islam is now being opened out. Indonesia is open. Bangladesh is open. Pakistan is open. to Christian missionaries. There's freedom of religion. There's mashallah, freedom of religion. But this is a one-way invasion. You see, from the West, there are at the moment, I have facts here from the Times magazine, that there are in the world today 70,000 crusaders. These are the mujahids of Christianity. I'm not talking about priests, parsons, or ministers of the church, paid servants of the church. No, no, no. There can be hundreds of thousands of those. But there are 70,000 crusaders, what do you say, the mujahids of Christianity. Among the 70,000, it's 60% of them are American. There are 35,000 occupied in Africa. They're raising the dust. They are here in Pakistan. They are in Bangladesh. They are in Indonesia. 42,000 Americans alone. What do they want? They want to convert us. To me, they are a sincere lot of people, these crusaders. They are sincere, like our Tablighi Jamaat. They are sincere. They want to go along and change the world. Everybody becomes pious, good Muslims. Similarly, the Christian now, he feels that he has a message for us. The message is that salvation, Rah-e-Najat, Jannah, only comes one way, and that is through the blood of the Lord Jesus. Allah tells us in the Holy Qur'an, it says, وَقَالُوا, and they say, لَنْ يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارًا, that you Muslims will never, never enter Jannah. There is no Jannah for you, no heaven for you, no salvation for you, illa, except man kana hudan aw nasara, unless you become a Jew or unless you become a Christian. The Jew has fallen out of the race. He has made his religion a racial religion. You have to be born a Jew to be a Jew. If you want to fall in love with a Jewish girl, and if you want to, and if she is insistent, if you want to become a Jew, they will put hurdles in your way. And eventually, when you overcome them, they'll convert you, willy-nilly. But you are still a third-grade Jew. They don't want you. The Christian, they only want the Jew. He only wants political recognition. If you accept that, look, Palestine belongs to them, that they have a title deed to it, they will be satisfied with you. Our battle with them is not a racial battle, it is not a religious battle, it's politics. Our brothers, the Arabs, they say Palestine belongs to them. Our cousins, the Jews, they say Palestine belongs to them. It's a different subject. But now, in answer to their boast, the Christian is still knocking at our doors. He wants to save us from hellfire. So Allah tells us, He says, وَقَالُوا لَنْ يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارًا. He says, تِلْكَ أَمَانِيُّهُمْ, that this is their wishful thinking, vain desires, hallucination, bakwas hai bakwas. Qul, tell them. Qul, he says, haatu burhanakum. Say, produce your evidence, burhan, your proof, that entitles you to Jannah and destines us to Jahannam. Qul haatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. If you're speaking the truth, let us have a look at your proof. This is what Allah asks us to demand from them. But we haven't done it. In 1,000 years, no Muslim goes out, when he makes the claim that Jesus is God, say, what is your proof? When he makes the claim that he's got Jannah, free Jannah for him, he's just got to believe, and heaven is for him, we didn't say, where's your burhan? No. He destines us to Jahannam, that you all are going to hell. He said, all your good deeds are like filthy rags, sab kachra hai kachra. All your fasting, and your prayer, and your zakat, and your hajj, and your som, and straitjacketing your life is all waste of time. Did you say, where's your burhan? No. Allah is telling a secret. The secret of dealing with any type of claim, whether from the communists, whether from the Hindus, from the atheists, the agnostic, Jew, anybody, where is your burhan? So we haven't asked for burhan in 1,000 years. So they are asking us for burhan. And instead they have produced theirs, the Bible. They have produced the burhan, the Bible. They said, this is the proof, the authority. They have produced the Bible in 2,000 different languages. It's hard to imagine. 2,000 different languages. They have the Bible in Urdu.